Hey friends, it's Marissa. Today I really wanted to do another chatty podcast style episode. So today we are talking about business hours versus working hours. I did have someone leave a comment on my video, which I really appreciated, asking me about what my business hours are. And I feel like this isn't something that's talked about enough in our industry, and just not even real estate, but also just being self-employed in general. Business hours just aren't really talked about very much, and I think they're super important to have. So I hope this video helps you determine what your business hours and working hours are going to be, and helps you understand that you definitely can have boundaries between your work life and your personal life. So first, I'd like to start with business hours because I truly believe that business hours and working hours are two different things. So your business hours should be communicated to your clients and they should be public. So I have my business hours on my Google business page. People can see what they are very clearly, and this is something that I also bring up during my consultations with buyers and sellers. My business hours on Google say that I'm open from 9 a.m. to 8 p.m., and that is all 7 days of the week, which I'm thinking about changing actually. I see a lot of real estate offices specifically that say that they're open 24 hours, and a lot of agents say that they're open 24 hours. I think I was listening to the Hustle Humbly podcast one time, and they said, "Are you really going to answer your phone at 2 a.m.? No, well then you probably shouldn't say you work 24 hours. And I thought that was really funny and definitely so true, because I feel like we get in the habit of saying we're available all times, any times, 24/7, and we don't really mean it. So I think it's important to be clear. I definitely don't think that you're going to drive away great business by saying that you have business hours. If anything, I think it's going to get you more quality business. So you might be wondering how I picked 9 a.m. to 8 p.m. Well, I'm not a morning person, so I get up around 7:30 every single day, and I like to have slow mornings. So I like to take my time getting up. I really like mornings a lot more when I'm able to just eat a good breakfast and take my time getting ready, take my time waking up, just enjoy the morning light. And so I really am not what you would call a morning person, but I'm really enjoying my mornings being self-employed. I try to be sitting at my laptop by 9 a.m. every day, and I think it's really important to have a start time to your day. So I would recommend picking a start time to your workday for something that's manageable, but also going to push you a teeny tiny bit. You can also think of your business hours as like office hours, so when you're going to be able to be reached. And so I like to put 9 a.m. on there. Sometimes even if I get my day started before 9 a.m., I will wait to text clients and wait to check in on things until 9 a.m. because I like to really establish my business hours and get people familiar with when I'm actually answering my phone. So usually if I can avoid it, I am not texting people outside of my business hours and not calling them unless it's absolutely necessary. So we've got our start time down. Now we're going to pick our end time. This is the time where you do not want to be answering your phone anymore. And I know that's really super hard in real estate when we're in negotiations or there's like a multiple offer situation and it's a late night. You know, we have those. So I definitely think that there's some flexibility here. But I would say, like, if a client reaches out to you and asks you for something super minor, like, "Hey, can you update this on my search?" and they text you after your business hours, just remind yourself to get to it the next day. Something I've really been enjoying is taking a screenshot of the message and I'll email it to myself because I kind of see my email as like a to-do list. And so if I just try to remember that someone texted me, I'm very likely going to forget. And so I just screenshot it and send it to myself for later. So personally, 8 p.m. is when I shut it down for the day and I don't respond to any texts or calls unless it's absolutely necessary. One side note I should also mention is that I used to have my email notifications turned on. They used to be coming to my phone, but now I don't anymore. I actually have them completely off. So I only see my email when it is open and in front of me. Right now I have my laptop open and my email is obviously open. I can see it, but I just found that when I was waking up in the morning and trying to focus on my morning routine and not getting started with work before I'm actually ready, then that was really harming my morning and harming my mental health. And so I just decided to turn my email notifications off. So I only see my email when I intentionally have it open. I know this might not be for everybody, but if you're really struggling with, "Oh my gosh, I'm supposed to be working 24/7, I'm a real estate agent, I'm supposed to be available," I'm telling you right now, it's okay to turn those notifications off. As long as you're checking your email a reasonable amount of times each day, I think you're fine. Now let's talk about working hours because working hours are far different than business hours. When I say that I work 9 a.m. to 8 p.m. Monday through Sunday, I'm not actually pulling my laptop out and working 9 a.m. to 8 p.m. Now, this might be the case for some real estate agents, but it's not the case for me personally. So I have working hours and I just kind of set them day by day. It depends what I all have to get done. But typically, like I said, I will start my work day around 9 a.m. and then probably around like 4 or 5 is when I shut my laptop off. I like to exercise before we eat dinner. And so that's kind of when I decide that it's the cutoff. So right now it's actually 3:46 p.m. when I'm filming this video. And after I'm done filming this video, I'm done. I'm going to work out and I am going to get started just like enjoying my evening. If I turn off work now and I get a text at 6 p.m. from a client, I'll respond to them. But if it's after 8 p.m., then I will get to it the next day. So I hope that makes sense. Your working hours are more like when you've got your laptop open, when you're doing admin work and other worky things that you're going to be doing besides appointments. And that's another thing I should mention. I've got like my working hours, but of course, if an appointment comes up and a client needs to see a house at like 5 p.m. or 6 p.m., I'm obviously available to show them the house. Weekends too, I tell people like these are my business hours, but I'm also available by appointment. So if we have showings on Saturday, then I'm obviously available for those, but I don't necessarily pull out my laptop and get work done unless I absolutely need to. I'm planning on making another video showing exactly how I make my schedule in Trello and how I time block my schedule, so stay tuned for that. But in the meantime, my schedule personally kind of looks a little bit something like this. I work about 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. or 5 p.m. Monday through Thursday, and then Max is usually off on Fridays. And so I usually don't open my laptop at all on Fridays unless I absolutely have to get work done. So Fridays are like my appointment days. I would say Saturdays are as well, like the entire weekend. It's usually like Friday through Sunday where it's appointment days and I'm obviously still available for clients. But if there's no reason for me to pull my laptop out and actually get some work done, then I'm not doing it. Being self-employed and being a real estate agent is far different than a 9 to 5 job. Nobody is paying you hourly. And I've found that when I was at a corporate job, I was able to make a task that I probably could have got done in an hour, I could make it last 8 hours if I needed to because I didn't really want to ask for any more work. Whereas with real estate and my social buzz business, I am so passionate about them. I get so excited about them and I'm very efficient with my time because I don't get paid hourly. You're probably feeling like you're in a similar boat if you're watching this. And if you're super efficient with your time and you can get everything you need to get done in 4 hours, take the rest of the day off, you know? So just really think about what you actually have to be getting done. And of course, you can do filler work if there's filler work to be done. I would love to make a video on what I think is actually productive filler work for real estate agents and what's actually going to get you more business. Because I feel like in the beginning, I was just spinning my wheels and I had no idea what I was supposed to be doing. So I would basically just sit around and create business card ideas and I didn't know what was actually going to get me business. So if you'd like to see something like that, please let me know in the comments. But otherwise, I will see you in the time blocking video. Thank you so much for watching and I'll see you next week.